In this video, we're going to look at the E-84D error code, and that is a pressure pin stuck on error. And so the way that works is when the fryer's not cooking, if the control sees that the pressure pin is open, it's a normally closed switch, so if it's open when we're not cooking, the control is going to get a pressure pin stuck on E-84D error code. So if a customer gets that error code and you get that service call, we're going to be looking to see if we have a bad switch. And so this switch is normally closed, and you can just make sure that when this lifts up, it should be open. When it's down, it should be closed. So if I test it right now, the switch should be closed. If I show an open switch, then replace the lid pin switch. Otherwise, you would want to look and see if we have a continuity issue all the way back to the control. So here, make sure your connection here is good. Any open circuit here back to the control would give us the E-84D error code. So make sure of that. In a very rare circumstance, you could have the larger locking pin that rides on top of the lid liner, lifts up with the lid liner under pressure. If that ever stuck, that would actually hold this pin up. You could test that by moving this pin up and down to hear if that makes a change when you move it up and down. If it doesn't make a change, then that lid pin switch underneath could be stuck in the raised position. Again, that's a very rare issue. If that did happen, then the only remedy there's no serviceable parts there, the lid would need to be replaced. But again, that's few and far between. Usually it's going to be an open switch or continuity issue all the way from the wiring here back to the control. You just have to find out where that issue is and fix it. Now down on the control, we can see what the control sees for that pressure pin switch. And so what I want to do is get into info mode by pressing both the menu button and info at the same time. And then we're going to scroll through until we get to inputs 2. This is telling us the status of the lid pin switch. Right now it says it's okay, meaning that there's no pressure inside the fry pot. So if I lift up on that switch, it says PR for pressure. And so this is where the control thinks that the fry pot's got pressure. And this is an easy way for you to be able to test that switch. And that's part of the annual inspection. And so this will be a test that you'll do during the annual inspection. You let the switch down, then it says okay, you're in good shape. If you just see it say pressure all the time, that means we have an open circuit and you'd have to troubleshoot either the switch is bad or maybe we have a loose connection somewhere. To exit out of this mode, you just press both your menu and info button at the same time again, and you're back to either an off screen or your cook screen.